Kindness is often misunderstood as a soft or secondary quality, something nice to have but not essential for survival in a competitive world. In reality, kindness is one of the strongest forms of motivation a person can possess, because it gives meaning to effort and direction to struggle. This story is about that quiet strength. It is about how kindness, when combined with perseverance, can slowly change not only one life but many others connected to it. The story begins in a large, restless city where people chased success relentlessly, often forgetting themselves and each other along the way. In this city lived a man named Ethan. Ethan was not extraordinary by public standards. He worked a regular job at a logistics company, lived in a small rented apartment, and followed a routine that felt repetitive and exhausting. Like millions of others, he woke up early, traveled through traffic, worked long hours, and returned home tired. His dreams felt distant, almost unrealistic, buried under responsibilities and expectations. Yet despite the pressure of daily life, Ethan carried something rare, a conscious decision to treat people with kindness, even when life felt unkind to him. Ethan's childhood shaped this decision deeply. He grew up watching his parents struggle financially while still helping others whenever they could. His father often said that success without humanity was empty, and his mother believed that kindness had a way of returning, even if it took time. When Ethan lost his father unexpectedly, life became harder, and bitterness could have easily taken root. Instead, he chose to honor his parents' values. He learned early that motivation was not just about achieving goals, but about choosing the kind of person he wanted to be while chasing them. Every day on his way to work, Ethan noticed how disconnected people had become. On the bus, everyone stared at their phones, guarded and distant. Small arguments broke out over seats and space. Frustration filled the air. Ethan could feel the same stress inside himself, but he refused to let it control his behavior. He helped strangers when he could, offered his seat to those who needed it more, and spoke politely even when others were rude. These actions did not change the city overnight, but they changed Ethan. They reminded him that he still had control over his choices. At work, Ethan was surrounded by pressure and competition. Deadlines were strict, mistakes were criticized, and appreciation was rare. Many coworkers focused only on their own progress, often stepping over others to get ahead. Ethan worked hard, but he also helped those around him. When a colleague struggled, he offered guidance. When tensions rose, he chose calm communication. Some people misunderstood his kindness as weakness, assuming he lacked ambition. Ethan heard these comments but did not internalize them. He understood that real motivation is internal. It does not depend on applause or approval. One evening, after staying late to finish a project, Ethan noticed a cleaner sitting alone in the hallway, wiping away tears. Most employees passed by without noticing. Ethan paused, unsure whether to intervene, but something inside him pushed him forward. He asked if everything was okay and listened as she shared her worries about her sick child and unpaid bills. Ethan could not solve her problems, but he listened without judgment and offered words of encouragement. He also spoke to management the next day, helping arrange flexible hours for her. It was a small action, but it made a big difference. Life, however, did not suddenly become easy. Ethan faced setbacks of his own. A promotion he worked hard for went to someone else. Financial stress increased, motivation wavered, and self-doubt crept in. There were nights when he questioned whether his efforts mattered at all. During those moments, Ethan reminded himself that motivation is not always excitement or confidence. Sometimes it is simply the decision to keep going, even when you feel tired and unseen. Months later, the company went through major changes. Departments were restructured, and many employees feared losing their jobs. Anxiety spread quickly. During this uncertain time, Ethan became a source of stability for his team. He shared information transparently, helped coworkers prepare for interviews, and encouraged them to support each other instead of competing destructively. When management evaluated employees for leadership roles, Ethan stood out. Not because he demanded authority, but because people trusted him. His kindness had built respect, and his consistency had built credibility. Ethan was promoted to a team leader position. With this role came responsibility and pressure, but also opportunity. He chose to lead with empathy. He listened to concerns, acknowledged effort, and motivated his team by reminding them of their shared goals. Productivity improved, but more importantly, People felt valued. Ethan realized that kindness does not slow progress. It accelerates it by creating an environment where people want to give their best. Outside of work, Ethan volunteered at a local community center on weekends. He mentored young adults who felt lost and discouraged. Many of them struggled with failure, rejection, and low self-worth. Ethan shared his own journey honestly, emphasizing that motivation is not about never failing, but about learning and continuing. He encouraged them to be kind to themselves, to stop measuring their worth by comparisons, and to focus on progress rather than perfection. One young man in the program told Ethan that he had decided not to give up on his education because of their conversations. That moment reminded Ethan why kindness mattered. Motivation returned in a deeper form, not as ambition, but as purpose. He understood that success is meaningful when it is shared, and growth is fulfilling when it helps others grow too. Years passed, and Ethan's life slowly improved. His career stabilized, his confidence strengthened, and his relationships deepened. Yet he never allowed success to distance him from empathy. He remembered the difficult days and used those memories to stay humble. He continued practicing kindness, not as a strategy, but as an identity. He learned that motivation rooted in compassion lasts longer than motivation driven by ego. The city around Ethan remained busy and imperfect, but small changes appeared. His workplace became more supportive. His team members became mentors to others. The community center grew stronger. These were not dramatic transformations, but steady ones. Ethan realized that the world changes not through grand speeches, but through consistent actions repeated daily. The lesson of this story is simple and powerful. You do not need extraordinary talent or perfect circumstances to live a meaningful life. Kindness and motivation are choices available to you every day. Kindness keeps you connected to others, and motivation keeps you moving forward. Together, they build resilience, purpose, and quiet strength. If you are watching this and feeling tired, discouraged, or invisible, remember this: your effort matters, even when progress feels slow. Your kindness matters, even when no one thanks you. Keep going. Stay kind. Stay motivated. One day, you will look back and realize that by lifting others and refusing to give up, you built a life that truly mattered.